What's up, Collector Squad? Welcome to my 2021 January collection room tour. I'm Drew, by the way, if some of y'all don't already know. Welcome to the channel. Returning subscribers, really glad you're back. If you're new here though, make sure you check out our other stuff. We've gotten rolling pretty quick with the content. We got some exciting stuff coming up as well. Let's get started with the room tour. So we're gonna start here with one of my favorite animes of all time, especially for a short anime. It's so good. We've got Afro Samurai. He's one of the coolest characters ever, voiced by Samuel L. Jackson. Probably one of the coolest things he's ever done. The first thing I want to start with on both these figures though is the Afro Samurai base. That's just such a cool thing. I thought it was so unique to these. And then I've also got paired with him his buddy Gino, who, as we all know, starts out good, goes bad, and turns into Akuma, wearing the classic teddy bear helmet because he had to get rebuilt. And then I've got the awesome artwork behind it. These figures actually came out at San Diego Comic-Con 2008. They were so hard to find, and they're pretty expensive for, I believe, their 8th scale. I'll probably never pay that much for another small figure again, but these were so worth it. You can't find these on eBay anymore, and if you do find them on eBay, you can usually only find one of them by themselves, but I got a pretty good deal getting these two bad boys together. So now we're gonna move along over to Michael Rooker. I got to meet this guy, guys, at I believe it was Heroes and Villains Con in Nashville, Tennessee. He was one of the most genuine human beings I've ever met in my life. And he's from the same state Austin and I are from, Jasper, Alabama. So I've got that awesome picture with him here. And then what's cool is he recognized me in that picture after I got his autograph in this one over here. I talked to him for like 10 minutes. He was just such a cool guy. And then I've got this Funko Pop in the middle. It's an exclusive. I forget where it's from. I don't collect a lot of these. The only time I usually grab these is when I can't find a statue of that character that I really like. I really need Iron Studios to come out with one of him. I would buy it in a heartbeat to go with the rest of my Guardians of the Galaxy collection. I guess we can start right here with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Let me try to get my shadow out while I talk about them. Guys, here I have the start, or I'm kind of in the middle with my Guardians of the Galaxy collection. I will get the Gamora from Iron Studios eventually to finish this off and have them all together. But as you can see, I've got the Star-Lord, or Peter Quill, and Drax from their battle on Titan with Thanos. One of the, probably my favorite scene in Infinity War. So good. And then I also got Rocket and Groot from Gentle Giant that was listed at 1/8 scale, but I saw it in a store recently and I noticed it feels a little smaller than 1/8 scale, so I grabbed it, I put it with these two, and it goes with all of it perfectly. So I can't wait to get the Gamora to go with this. But to talk about the statues a little more, I think the best face sculpt I've ever seen on a 1/10 statue has got to be this Drax. The Drax is absolutely insane. If you look at it up close, it seriously couldn't be better. It's amazing, all the way from the mouth to the ears to the eyes. I think the eyes impress me the most because that's so hard to capture on these smaller statues. I love it. And the thing, if you go down here to this statue of Rocket and Groot, I think the Groot is a 1/10 scale size. That's the one thing that kind of set it apart from the 1/8 size, if I had to be honest about it. And then the Rocket looks really good. Wish I could have had a better base to go along with it, but you know, you do what you can and you get what you can get. And then I'll talk about the Star-Lord lastly. I love everything about this statue. I really wanted to put in his actual face sculpt, but the details weren't as vivid as I wanted them to be. Everything just looked really light on his face, from his mouth to his nose. And this though, his helmet just looks perfect, especially when you get up close and look at it. It's spot on. Really proud to have all of these in my collection. Alright guys, now moving on up from Guardians of the Galaxy, we're going to get into my DC Batman collection. This is where it all started for me when it came to Batman, was when I watched the animated series growing up. This Joker and Harley, even though they're only 1/10 scale by Kotobukiya, are absolutely perfect. They stay accurate to everything in the show, from the Joker's shoes all the way up to his hands and his big old smile. And then we got Harley. It's such a cool figure of her and a really cool pose. I love how she's kind of looking back at the Joker with her court gun out. It's just so cool, man. I catch myself looking at both of these all the time. I'm kind of upset that Sideshow's 1/5 scale line didn't stay absolutely true to the characters. They decided to put their own spin on it. That's true with the Batman too, that we'll see here shortly. But I guess we can zoom over now to the Funko Pop I got, a Batman Beyond. Like I said, guys, not a big Funko Pop collector, but this guy came with the Batman Beyond Blu-ray series, and it's very exclusive. It's hard to get your hands on, so I thought that was a cool addition to my collection. I actually almost bought the premium format of Batman Beyond for my collection, but maybe at a later date I'll get it. But right now my collection's going in a certain direction. I guess we'll move over to the Batmen, so to speak. These are my favorite two depictions of Batman. I've got the Iron Studios Dark Knight Christian Bale Batman that it's just so cool, guys. Couldn't be more perfect. The thing I love the most about this statue is just how confident he looks and how he's standing with his cape going in the wind. Just kind of how I think of Christian Bale in The Dark Knight when he was at his physical prime and he just felt like he couldn't be beaten by anybody. Love the base with, actually Austin pointed it out, it looks like Man-Bat is what the base depicts, which is a pretty interesting little theory. I wonder if they thought about that going in for the gargoyle. But love it. Love the cape as well. It's a sculpted cape, which I think Austin talked about this in his statue video, was when if you can sculpt a cape and make it look like it truly is a cape, it looks way better than any other material. But now I guess we can move on to the OG original Batman, where it all started for me. This is, for those of you who don't know, this is his pose at the beginning of each episode in the animated series when the lightning strikes in the background and he's looking over the city. I just think it's so cool. It actually replaced the original Batman Kotobukiya, where he's kind of in a lunging pose. I just couldn't pass up on this one. And I just love his V shape and how big he is up top. It's a little over exaggerated, of course, but that's what anime and animation, that's what they do. And now we can look up at the two posters I have. One of my favorite things you'll notice, guys, is I love pairing artwork with statues. I just love both of these together. And for all you statue companies out there, hint, hint, we need one of her out there really badly. All right. Now moving on, I guess we'll talk some more about this artwork. I've got a Funko Pop of Shenron down here. Just thought it was a cool middle part of my collection. Larger pop, mainly a space filler, but I plan on having on both sides of him either autographs or pictures with Sean Schemmel and then Christopher Sabat, two of my favorite voice actors of all time. I actually have Christopher Sabat's autograph right there, but I really would like to get one in person. Trust me, guys, this is the real thing. It's authenticated, I promise. All right, guys, now going over to the Borderlands section. Austin and I are in pictures here with Jason Liebrecht and Damian Clark. Austin and I actually kind of have a theory about Borderlands and how they do their characters in the game. They look so much like the guy that voices the character. It's insane, especially Damian Clark. It was like meeting Handsome Jack in person, and then hearing Jason Liebrecht do the voice of Mordecai in person was one of the coolest and most surreal things I've ever heard. It was really cool. And then moving over here to some of the artwork and the signatures, Jason Liebrecht went crazy over this. Austin's sister actually made this portrait or this picture of Mordecai It's so cool, man. It's so cool. And he went crazy over it. He loved signing it. And he was like, where did you get this? And he went over and bought his own copy at the con we were at. Moving down, I got my favorite Handsome Jack quote from Damian Clark. He said, Drew, Butt Stallion says hello. Just thought that was so cool to get, man. He was hilarious. Now moving over, this is the Zane portrait that came with the special edition loot box that came when you pre-ordered Borderlands 3. Just think it's such a cool photo, and it's really cool pairing it up with this statue from Weta. I was very surprised at how good this was. They need to make more of some of our favorite characters. He is just so creative. Wasn't the greatest character at first, but they buffed him up a little bit, and it's really exciting and fun to play with this character now in Borderlands 3. And the last part of my Borderlands collection is my Pops right here. I've got Handsome Jack, Zero, and Maya, all of which need to be made into statues. I don't know why they haven't yet, especially Zero. Zero will always be my favorite Borderlands character just because I love the ninja and samurai stuff. I love sword stuff. It's just a little special part I have in my collection that I love to look at. All right, guys, now moving down to the main display of my collection, I'll start with Darth Maul from Kotobukiya. He is a 1/7 scale. This is from the second run of this statue. Brilliant sculpt all around. It's amazing what Kotobukiya can do, especially at some of the price points. This thing was less than $200. And at this scale, I just think it looks phenomenal. And there are a lot of Star Wars statues out there at 1/7 scale. I'm trying to figure out a statue I want to pair with this one, but I think I'm going to wait until I find a Qui-Gon Jinn out there that I can pair it with, just because I want my favorite Sith and my favorite Jedi to be together. But man, this pose, I just think of this as like Darth Maul training by himself on just this rocky terrain out in the middle of nowhere by himself on some distant planet. It's so cool and menacing. It's just a classic Darth Maul pose with just how flashy he is in his fighting style. Absolutely love this statue. The next one we can talk about is the big G-Man, Godzilla. Y'all, this statue, I can't tell y'all how happy I was when I got this one. I'm kind of late to the statue collecting game. I've been in it for about a year and a half, maybe a little bit longer. But this is the first big statue in my collection. And I actually like this one better than the maquette that came out by Sideshow. I think this statue is way more true to how Godzilla looks in the movie. The maquette snout is just too long and Godzilla is just too skinny for me. It looks like a different version. I don't really like it as much. But this one, man, it's perfect. The statue is between 14 and 15 inches high, but it just commands such a presence when you look at it. And the biggest thing is that I love probably most about this are the spines from the original Godzilla 2014 movie. I wish they kept this look just because it was so unique and never done on a Godzilla before, and I just love this new take. Of course, in the newer movies, they're going with the classic maple leaf looking spines or plates coming out of his back, but I just love this look so much more. I wish they would have stuck with it. It's just, I don't know what else there is to say about this one, guys, except for the price point at which I got it at. This statue was listed at around $1,500 when I was hunting for it, and that was so much money. In some cases, this smaller one was going for more than the maquette, but I got lucky one day, got on eBay, saw this guy listed for much lower, and I picked it up right away. Couldn't be happier. The statue will absolutely never leave my collection. All right, guys, the last statue I'm going to talk about in my collection, one of my two favorite characters and everything I watch. Of course, Batman's the other one, but Vegeta, man, he was the villain that became an anti-hero and slowly becoming a true hero. I just absolutely love him. This statue, though, guys, I've got a great story about this statue. It's KRC, from KRC, the company. I picked this up from Anime Collect, and it was originally cast as a 1/6 scale statue. But as you can see, especially if you compare it to Darth Maul, he is 100% not a 1/6 statue. I actually bought this because of a YouTuber named Captain Resin who does a lot of anime stuff, mainly Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. For those of you that know, this is actually from the Dragon Ball Broly Super movie. He compared the head sculpt from this Vegeta to one of his 1/4 scale Gokus, and it was pretty much the same size. So I got a statue that was 1/4 for a little over $300. Of course, the shipping was a lot, but I just couldn't pass this up. It is the best Vegeta sculpt out there from head to toe. And people can argue with me all they want to and try to prove that another statue's better. You won't prove me wrong, I think, when it comes down to it in the end, especially with the pose, the base. I mean, we even have ice chipping off of this glacier up on his knee, and from certain angles it looks like it's floating. It's just a true Vegeta pose, and it's just something I'll never get rid of in my collection. And that's I guess where I'm going to end off doing this little tour, guys. Well, all right, guys, thank you so much for checking out my 2021 January collection room tour. Really happy to share this with y'all, and really excited to just see the growth we've already gotten up to this point between all the Pokemon card videos, Austin's room tour, his Asajj Ventress review, and then now we're here. We're gonna bring so much more content for you guys. Please check out our other stuff. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed, like this video, and biggest thing is to remember, collect what you like, not what's popular.